Okay, all right. Well, we will go right ahead. We'd like to welcome the defending champion of the RSM Classic, Tyler Duncan. Tyler, thanks for joining us for a few minutes. I know you've obviously got a lot on your plate, big week this week. Just some thoughts on being back here. I know it's still early in the week, but just kind of touch base on a lot of the things you have going on, the excitement and so forth going on as you defend your PGA Tour title this week.
It's awesome. It's a great feeling. This place is awesome. Even before I won last year, it was one of my favorite places to visit. The courses are great. Just the vibe around here at the course and the island is pretty special. Staying with the same host family that I've stayed with the last few years from my hometown. They have a house just down the street here, so that's always nice to spend some time with them and keep the week light, and just looking forward to it.
If I could take you back to last year I guess was your third start at the RSM Classic. You post a career low 61 in round 2, and then you come back on Sunday and birdie, I think, 3 of your last 4 holes to get into the playoff, which you go on. Obviously, we know the outcome of that. Is that a week that, for obviously a lot of reasons, was incredibly special to you?
It was, for sure. I mean, just as far as confidence and just being able to play well and finish it off, I think was huge for me. And I think I've learned a lot from that opportunity, and I think when I get back in those situations, I think it'll help me a lot.
Okay, and one last question, and then we'll open it up. Let's see, Gary Smits is in the queue. Just how you're feeling coming into the week game-wise. I know you've had a couple of top 30 finishes so far this season. Just kind of assess the state of your game as you're heading into the week.
It's been good. I've played okay. I haven't played great. I feel like everything's kind of been trending in the right direction. Had a tough first round last week at the Masters, but I played really solid the second round and just tried to clean up a few things, and I feel really, really good about where the game's at.
Okay, well, great. Well, with that, we'll take a few questions. We'll start with Gary Smith from the Florida Times Union. Gary, go ahead.
Hey, Tyler, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Tyler, the perks that you get from winning on the PGA Tour, in a lot of ways, you either had to wait longer than normal for, or it got taken away from you. You weren't able to finish Players Championship week along with everybody else. You had to wait to play in the PGA and the Masters. Obviously, when you were going about the season and getting back into playing golf, how did you help yourself curb the disappointment of having those chances delayed, or even in the case of the players, didn't get that at all? At least the full week's experience.
Right. I was disappointed, just that, especially with the uncertainty at the start of everything, whether, I was going to get an opportunity to play or if, if they were postponed or what was going to happen. But once we got back to the restart, I felt pretty comfortable that everything was going to kind of work out. I think the tour did a great job with all the protocols and everything, and it just seemed like each week got a little smoother and smoother. So that allowed me to kind of feel more confident and comfortable that, I was going to be able to play in those events. And, I think I've played all right. I haven't played great, but still working on that and looking forward to getting back to the Players Championship in March, living in Ponte Vedra, so that'll be very exciting.
And the way the tour restructured everything, where they kind of essentially froze the eligibility, so you've still got your status. When you found out they were going to do that, did that take a little pressure off of you, knowing that you're still going to have some of the advantages as a tour winner kind of extended a little bit into next year?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was definitely a relief, and I was excited to hear that, just because there's so many variables with this, with all the different levels of status and the different tours. And when I heard kind of how it was going to work out for the tour winners from the fall, it was really, I was excited to hear that for sure. So yeah, happy with that.
Okay, thank you, John.
No problem.
Okay, we'll go now to Adam Schuback, Golf Week. Adam?
Hey Tyler, just curious, how did you celebrate the victory last year?
We went back to the family that I stay with just down the street here, and he picked up some pizzas from here on the island. I forget the restaurant, but picked up some pizzas, and Zach Johnson came over and talked to me for a little while, and just had some pizza and beer. My wife and I stayed here on site that night. That was pretty awesome to be able to wake up and kind of walk out front, and you're looking over the putting green and the water, and that was pretty special.
Okay. And what's been the biggest difference, some of the perks of being a tour winner that you experienced over the course of the last year?
Just playing in a lot of the big tournaments that I haven't really been fortunate enough to play before. I played, I obviously didn't get to play, or at least finish the Players' Championship, and then WGC St. Jude. That was nice to be able to play there. The PGA Championship, into the FedEx Cup playoffs, and then the U.S. Open, the Masters. Just being able to play in all of those tournaments is pretty awesome.
And can you share a little of your backstory, how you got into the game, the courses you grew up playing in Indiana as a youngster?
Yeah, so my uncle, who's now my coach, he played professionally. So as I was kind of growing up, he was climbing through the ranks and played. So that kind of gave me some motivation to work hard, and because I always kind of wanted to be like him, travel around and play golf. Who doesn't want to do that, right? So that was fun. And I grew up just on a little 9-hole golf course there in hometown in Columbus, and then as I got older, we have a really nice 18-hole course that kind of I transitioned into, and then our high school team played at another course there in town. So that was kind of nice being in high school and having 3 different places where I could go play and practice.
Okay, and during the course of the year, or maybe just even after your victory, have you spent some time with Davis Love, just the connection to him being the tournament host of this, you being the winner, anything that he's meant to you?
Whenever I see him, I always try to talk to him, but I haven't met up with him, or we haven't had dinner or anything like that. But no, it was great being able to spend time with him here last year after the tournament, and I feel like I got to know him a lot better at that point. That was kind of the first time I had really been around him, so that was a really cool, special experience.
Does it feel different to be a defending champion, comeback defending champion this week?
It's different, mainly just because everywhere I walk, everyone's calling me the defending champion, so that's something I'm not used to hearing. So it makes you feel good for sure, and I'm just happy to be here. I love it here, so just looking forward to the week.
All right.
And Tyler, if I recall, did you get married just a couple weeks after the win last year?
I did not. I've been married 3 years now, so.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
my bad.
No,
Bad
you're good.
info. All right. Well, that looks like all we have. We certainly appreciate your time and wish you all the best this week in defense of your title. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.